Hello, welcome to Tabletop CP. Today will be the first video in a new series I'm doing, documenting my progress in my Civil War sharp practice army. Alright, so I decided to do this mainly because I wanted to document a project that I do from start to finish. I've never done that before, and I think some people will find it interesting. I know I find it interesting watching other people do their progress blogs, and I like to follow them and see their progress, and when they talk about things that they've learned, and just things that went wrong, maybe even just, it's a good learning tool for people, other hobbyists. The project I will be doing is a Civil War Confederate Army for sharp practice. The army I've chosen to do is the Stonewall Brigade. A couple reasons for that. Firstly, Johnny has a fully painted Union Army ready to go. So I need to finish this so we can start doing some sharp practice Civil War games. And I just like the Stonewall Brigade, the history. I've been reading about them, listening to books, I should say. Not reading, but listening to people read the book to me. And I've also got a distant relation with Stonewall Jackson. So those two things together made me want to do the Stonewall Brigade. They're a famous brigade. There's a lot of art, a lot of pictures of them. And there's a lot of history about them, so it's not hard to dig up information or find uniform references for them. To go over my plan, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through all the units that I want to build and talk about how I'm going to use the minis that I have. All the minis that I have here are all from Perry. I just ordered them all at once. I normally don't do that, but I thought in this case I would, just because shipping is pretty expensive from Perry directly. But surprisingly, it's cheaper to order from Perry and pay the shipping than it is to get free shipping and order it from somewhere like eBay, because they jack the prices up so high that by the time that you get done paying for it, you were better off ordering directly from Perry and paying the shipping to the United States. I also like Perry just because they're a professional business. They have the stuff, and when you order it, they send it. You don't have to wait. You don't get put on back order, and it works how you think it should. So great models, good prices, good service. I would highly recommend Perry for all of your historical mini needs, really. So the first thing we'll talk about is the line infantry. So I'm going to build 5 groups of line infantry. I like to build 5. I built 5 for most of my other armies. 5 is a good number for me. You could feel the big 5-group formation, or a 4-group formation, or you could feel the 3-group formation and a 2-group formation. It's just a lot of a lot of different configurations you can do with 5. A lot more than you can with 4, which is basically 2 and 2 or 3. Really, you don't run one group very often. So 5 is good because you can run 2 formations with 5 groups of infantry in sharp practice. So the main part of the line infantry is going to come from this box here, the American Civil War Infantry box. Now Perry does make a dedicated Confederate infantry box, but it's a lot of marching poses, and I didn't want all marching poses. This box you can do both sides with. I'm going to be doing them Confederate, but you could do Union with them as well. And I will show you why I like this sprue so much, or this box more than I like the Confederate infantry box. It's because these guys here. So there are a lot of marching poses, which is fine. It's commonly seen in sharp practice games, so I have no problem using all of these. And I will use all of them, so there's 6 times 3, so 18 marching guys will be part of my line infantry. But these guys here, which I'll talk about in a little bit, I'm going to be using as skirmishers. But for now, we'll be doing 18 of the marching guys for the line. There's 3 sprues. I also bought some metal minis to mix in. So the first one I bought was ACW 32, and this is Confederates marching in shell jackets. So I did buy a couple different types of clothes. I bought the shell jackets because I want to have these guys look kind of ragtag. So there's 6 of these guys in shell jackets. I also bought ACW 35. This is more marching guys. but this is Confederate infantry marching in shirts. So I got shirts and shell jackets so far. And I think the guys on the sprues are kind of a mix of both of those as well. So that's 12 more marching. So that's 12 plus 16 marching. So I'm going to have a lot of marching guys. But I also bought some firing guys. So I bought ACW 79, which is just Confederate infantry firing line. And these guys are a mixed clothing as well. Different hats and some in shirts. Maybe a jacket in there. So that's 6 firing guys, and then I have 6 more firing guys, and these are Confederate infantry firing in shirts. So that is the line. So I got 18 out of the sprue, and then 24 more, or 16. Is it 18? Shoot, I can't remember. Anyway, I have enough. I got 40 of them between this and the sprues to fill up 5 groups of line infantry. Yeah, that's what it was. I was using 16 of the plastic and then 24 of the metals. That will be my 5 groups. So next thing I need is leaders for the line infantry. And as my standard for sharp practice, I like to have a big man. Everyone has to have a big man in their force. So for the big man, I went with ACW 47, which is a bunch of mounted generals. You got Pickett, you got Heth, and then you have Jeb Stuart. I will probably use Jeb Stuart here as my big man, as I think he looks the most Civil War with his big old beard. Yeah, it's really cool. So he's going to be my big man. The other 2 guys, I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. Possibly could use them as a cavalry leader. To round out the leaders for the line troops, I bought ACW 85, and this is the Confederate Command in shirts. And this is going to be enough to give me a level 2 leader, which will be this guy here, a lieutenant. I also have 2 sergeants, this guy and this guy. And then to round out my command element, I have a musician, a drummer here, and I got 2 flag bearers. And as far as flags go, I'll probably order some from GMB. It did come with some flags, but I like the other flags better. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So this will be 2 level 1s, a level 2, and then a level 3 big man, plus my whole headquarters element, the musician, and the flags. That is the command element, and the 5 groups. So after that, the next thing I'm going to do is build 3 groups of skirmishers. So, back to the sprue here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 groups of skirmishers, that's 6 guys per, plus a leader each, so it's 7 guys per, that'd be 21 models. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them per sprue, which would be enough for 12 for the 2. Each sprue also comes with 1 officer on it. And I have 3 sprues, so I have 3 officers, and each of the skirmishing groups is going to get 1 of these officers. They can have these swords, and you can put different styles of hats on them. So that'll be the 3. 2 of the groups will be plastic. All 3 leaders will be plastic, and then I ordered ACW 28, which is Confederate Infantry Skirmishing. So these guys are in your classic skirmishing poses, kneeling while loading, kneeling and firing, and just overall looking like they're skirmishing. So that's the last of the 3 groups. That'll do it for that. And then next up is going to be some cavalry. I bought this American Civil War cavalry. This is another generic set. It can be painted as either side. And for sharp practice, you need 8 horses and then a leader on a horse. It comes with 12, so I'm not going to use all of them. And I could either pull the leader out of here or maybe even use one of these extra big men as the leader. We'll see. But I don't have a unit in mind for the cavalry. If you guys happen to know cavalry that operate around the Stonewall Brigade's area of operation, maybe you could let me know. I can call them that. If not, they'll just be generic Confederate cavalry. And to go along with them, I bought ACW 8. which is dismounted Confederate cavalry. I guess I could use these guys as skirmishers in a pinch too, I suppose. But they all do have the cavalry saber on their hip, which pretty much is the only thing that makes them dismounted cavalry, as opposed to just regular skirmishers. But they're pretty cool models. I don't know if I'll really ever get off the horses, but the option is there. And finally, last but not least, is the cannon. Now, I got this sprue from Johnny. He gave it to me. When I first met him, he gave it to me. That was a while ago. And I think he was trying to plant a seed in my head to start painting up a Civil War force. And I didn't have plans at the time, so I just put it away. But now I do have plans, and now I have it. So thanks to Johnny for giving me this. And this is out of the Perry plastic set. I believe it comes with 3 or 4 cannons, and he had an extra one, so he gave it to me. And you can build different types of cannons. They got a couple of rifled cannons. They got 12-pounder Napoleon. They got a howitzer. I'll probably be doing up the 12-pounder Napoleon. Also comes with a limber, which is cool. But the best part is it comes with 6 crew, which is the exact number of crew you need for a game of sharp practice. 5 crewmen, 1 leader. And there's tons of different arms. You can have them moving the gun, you can have them loading it, firing. So a lot of cool different things you can do with this little set. And 1 cannon's usually it. It's usually all you need for sharp practice. Get many more than that, they can start being a little too powerful. So that's the plan. So the next thing that needs to happen is I need to take this pile of plastic and metal and turn it into an army. So I got to put it together, paint it, base it, all that good stuff. And I'll put all that into future videos. The next video will be talking about assembling. We'll talk about what kind of bases I'm going to use for them, what kind of trays, movement trays I'm going to use for them, and just my plans for the video after that as well. So that next one will be kind of short. I haven't decided if I'm going to put them all together at once. Generally I don't do that. I normally will put together a group at a time and then paint it and then put the next one together. I've never, for some reason in my head, the thought of having all those guys all assembled and just sitting there, gray plastic, it seems like it would make me not want to paint them. I don't know why I think that. I don't have that experience, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining things, but maybe I'll try it this time, build them all up, and if I suddenly don't feel like painting, then I'll know I shouldn't do that anymore. And that should do it for this one. That was just the planning stage. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you're interested in this kind of video, if you want to see more hobby progress videos, especially ones from start to finish like this is going to be quite a big undertaking. Try to do at least one a month, I would think. Maybe 2 if something comes up, but other than that I'll probably at least do 1 a month until the end. And then when we're all done, we'll cap it all off with a nice big sharp practice game between these guys and Johnny's Union. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.